Welcome to ClickSbait's first edition of Talking Pauper. I'm really glad that you've decided to join us and take a look at this video. Over time, we're going to take a look at a lot of different things, from the teams to the pieces, everything that goes around with Pauper. And of course, it starts off with talking about what are the best pieces, what are the best IDs, things along those lines. And now that I've had a chance to play a few Pauper games, and see what's going on in the format, I have a more informed opinion of what's good. We actually had a list like this on the blog space, but now I've had a chance to actually reevaluate and come back with what I think is a more definitive version of the top 5 ID cards in Pauper. So let's get started. In at number 5, we have the Sprite ID. Sprite, of course, will call in Kitty Pryde, the uncommon from the X-Men Xavier School set. And Kitty Pryde in and of herself is not that amazing, especially since she has no move and attack. Makes her a little bit difficult to use as far as an offensive call-in. However, she's got some tricks that make her really, really useful. First off, because of her ability to allow your team to go through an adjacent wall, it gives you some placement options so that you can keep your team safe when you taxi them into position and then actually get through to make the attack on the next turn. The other thing is that, she has leadership. So that one turn you're going to get an extra action, assuming that you don't already have leadership on your team, which is definitely a possibility. So, having that extra action may make a big difference for you. The other thing that I want to point out is she can perplex X-Men. Okay, and Cable is a powerhouse. Let's face it, he's got the X-Men keyword, so you can actually use her to make him a little bit more beastly. These things all serve to make her a very viable call-in, something that you do want to look out for and consider when building your team, especially if you're reliant on a taxi, if you're reliant on overdrive. These are things that you're going to want to take a look at and consider the possibility of, hey, maybe this is a piece that I'm going to need to include on my team. The number 4 ID, I believe, is Rusty. I had him higher on the list originally, so this may surprise you that he's fallen down to number 4. But to be perfectly honest, he's got running shot and side blast with a damage of 2. It's okay. It can help you get through that damage, and with perplexes, you could probably really punch something hard. On the other hand, it's not amazing. It's just one of those call-ins that may help you finish something off. So it's not something that I absolutely love, but on the other hand, compared to what else is out there, Rusty is actually still a fairly strong choice for your sideline. So don't put away the Rusty card, but know that there are better choices right now. Number 3 is probably not a surprise. What we have right now is Leech. The reason why I like Leech as a call-in, well, first of all, the outwit is nice. The ability to do a chain outwit is even better. And at 30 points, you can have one of your support pieces call them in, so that leaves your primary attacker free to do their thing. So while he's not going to be the piece that's going to deal that damage for you, he's going to allow you to be able to do it. The other thing that I like about Leech, of course, he has stealth, so it's going to make him a little bit of a harder target for your opponent to nail down, especially considering that in the Pauper format, there's not a lot that breaks through stealth. So he's going to be a fairly safe piece on your sideline if you place him correctly. It's something that's going to be tremendously useful. Of course, it's going to be timing based because this is not going to be your offensive juggernaut there. Still, number 3, definitely because of the chain outwit there. Number 2 is probably going to be the biggest surprise for any of you. I know it was a surprise to me when Tommy Lytle introduced me to how useful this guy is. Number 2 is Skin. I'd never had him on my sideline, but when you look at it, a pseudo charge with 3 damage and giant reach, give him a solid roll coming in, and then he's got the giant reach with the plasticity to kind of disrupt whatever your opponent's trying to do. Shape change makes him a little bit more difficult to deal with. So I mean, all in all, it's just a really really great call in, something that can actually really disrupt whatever it is that your opponent's trying to do. It's solid damage, good reach because he's got the move of five with a giant reach attack, so he's got some reach to him. It's something that's going to be able to reach out and smack maybe your support piece on your opponent's force. He is something that I had never considered until I had him played against me by Tommy Lytle, and it hurt. I cried. Coming in at number one for the top five Pauper call-ins is Jubilee. This is probably not a surprise to anyone, but in Pauper, Jubilee is outstanding off the sideline. Running shot with energy explosion can cause all sorts of problems, or you can do just the straight 3 damage, which is nice as well. But more importantly, when she does hit, she's going to give all hit pieces a neg 1 to defense and a neg 1 to attack. So if you open up with Jubilee as your first action, then that can set up success for the rest of the turn. It is a really, really good idea. I love to combine the offense with the support. It's definitely the all-star of the call-ins for Pauper in my mind. So that's my pick for the 5 best call-ins ID cards for Pauper. Feel free to share your opinions. Let me know, do you agree with me? Do you disagree? You can join the discussion on the Facebook page. Of course, you can always comment here on YouTube. I am always happy to hear what you have to say. I want to thank you again for watching, and hopefully I'll have something for you next week.